Beneath the streets of New York City, where millions walk every day without a thought, lies another world, a place of silence, dust, and forgotten echoes. They call it the underground city, a network of tunnels, chambers, and hidden rooms built long before the world above ever reached the sky. Most believe it's just old subway lines and abandoned stations. But what if there's something far older? Something built before New York even became a city. History tells us that Manhattan's underground began with progress, the age of steam, and the rise of the subway. But buried within old records, in the city archives that few ever read, are clues to something extraordinary. Maps drawn in the 1870s that show entire sections of underground tunnels that were never part of any plan. Tunnels that lead to nowhere, marked with a single word: restricted. The story begins in when a man named Alfred Ely Beach, a quiet inventor with a grand vision, built New York's first subway system, not with steel or electricity, but with air. He called it the Beach Pneumatic Transit, a single tunnel running under Broadway, powered by air pressure that pushed a small passenger car through the darkness. It was meant to be the beginning of something revolutionary. A city beneath the city, clean and efficient, untouched by the chaos above. But after a year, the project was abruptly shut down. No official explanation. No records of what went wrong. The tunnel was sealed, buried under layers of concrete, and forgotten. Yet, rumors persisted. Workers whispered about strange vibrations beneath the streets, of machinery that never stopped running, of a chamber deeper than anyone had ever dug before. In 1892, a city surveyor named Henry Carter stumbled upon an anomaly while inspecting new sewer lines. His report described an open void approximately 30 feet wide and descending far below expected depth. When he tried to map it, his compass failed, spinning aimlessly as if caught in a magnetic storm. His sketches showed circular halls carved with markings he couldn't identify, symbols resembling runes more than anything from the 19th century. He submitted the report to the city's engineering board. It was quietly removed from public record 2 days later. Carter resigned and was never heard from again. Decades later, in 1924, construction workers expanding the Lexington Avenue subway struck something solid beneath East 33rd Street. What they found wasn't rock. It was a wall of polished black stone, smoother than marble, resistant to drills and explosives. Engineers couldn't explain it. Within a week, the section was rerouted, and the wall was sealed behind fresh concrete. But a foreman on site claimed that before it was sealed, he saw something through a narrow crack, a faint blue glow, and a staircase descending into the dark. No one believed him, of course. Stories like that get buried faster than the tunnels themselves. But in 1968, a maintenance worker named John Phelps rediscovered an entrance while inspecting a drainage system near City Hall. He described it as a metal door, older than anything around it, marked with the letters E17. When he opened it, a rush of air blew out, heavy and stale, as if from a sealed vault. He entered briefly and found a narrow corridor leading downward, lined with stone unlike any he'd seen. Before he could go further, his flashlight died. He returned to the surface and reported it, but when he came back with a team, the door was gone. No records of an E17 door exist in any municipal design. But in the following months, strange things began to happen in that area. Vibrations under the street, power outages, localized to a few city blocks, subway operators reporting flashes of light in empty tunnels. Some believed it was all superstition. Others, especially those who worked underground for decades, swore the city had secrets it would never reveal. The New York Times archives hold letters from the early 1900s written by miners, describing an ancient chamber of glass beneath the river and a sound like thunder that echoed without end. None of those letters were ever published. By the 1980s, urban explorers began breaking into old tunnels, documenting what they found. Graffiti-covered walls, forgotten machinery, collapsed tracks. But a few photographs showed something impossible. Symbols carved into the stone that predate the city itself. Researchers from Columbia University analyzed one of the images and concluded that the carvings bore resemblance to Norse runes, yet they were thousands of years older. How could such markings exist beneath modern Manhattan? A theory emerged, one dismissed by academics, but whispered among those who studied forbidden history. They believed the land beneath Manhattan once housed an ancient settlement, a civilization predating recorded history, perhaps one connected to the same people who built megalithic sites across the world. Over centuries, the river rose, the earth shifted, and that civilization was buried under layers of sediment. When colonists arrived, they unknowingly built their city atop its ruins. This theory gained new weight in 2004, when a geophysical survey team mapping bedrock anomalies underlow it, Manhattan detected a massive hollow structure near the East River. Perfectly rectangular, nearly 400 feet below ground. They assumed it was a geological cavity, but the data revealed smooth, artificial surfaces. When they tried to access it, all signals were jammed. The project was canceled without explanation. Today, the city's oldest workers, the tunnelers, electricians, and subway engineers, still talk about it. They call it the Under, a labyrinth that no one dares to map. Some cite they heard distant voices while working in maintenance shafts, or seen old lights flicker in tunnels that have been closed for a century. A few claim they've followed the sound of running water, only to find rooms where water flows upward, defying gravity. Maybe it's just the city's breath, the constant hum of machinery, the pulse of millions of lives above. Or maybe, beneath all the noise and light, something ancient still sleeps. New York has always been a city of ambition, rising higher, digging deeper, chasing progress at any cost. But perhaps, in our pursuit to build above, we've forgotten what lies below. Every civilization leaves behind its ghosts, and sometimes those ghosts aren't content to stay buried. So, next time you walk through Manhattan, remember, beneath your feet lies another world, older than the Empire State, older than the Dutch, older even than memory itself. And maybe, just maybe, the lost city beneath New York is still waiting for someone brave enough to find it.